Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Lab podcast. We've got a couple realtors in here that love Austin. We want to be here to educate you, help you learn more about the Austin area because as Zillow and everyone else says, this is now the hottest market in the United States to move to. So today, instead of talking about the market, Crystal's going to lead us in a discussion about customer service philosophy because who you work with matters. And we want to talk about some of our strategies and the things that we believe in to help you make an informed decision on who you choose to hire. So why don't we get started with JJ? Introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? JJ Tolentino with the Next Level Property Group at Keller Williams Realty. Happy to talk about customer service and philosophy today. Passing it down to Crystal.
Hi guys, Crystal here. Welcome back. We're going to expect a very deep and good conversation today.
What's up, everybody? I'm Liberty Walker with Pure Realty, serving the Austin area and Cedar Park, Round Rock. And I'm excited about today. Let's get deep, Crystal.
Yeah. All right. So basically, like Ian just introduced us to the topic, basically we're going to talk about customer philosophy. This is a customer service strategy on how we handle service and support issues guided by our principles and company values. In other words, this is what we do to best serve our clients and, while still following our company motto or values. So, or AKA core values. And this could be respect, growth, guidance, anything like that. So yeah, let's get deep. And Ian, do you want to start off with what are your core values?
Let me start with my mission. My mission is to help clients on their real estate journey by being empathetic, knowledgeable, and flexible. I know that it's tough, and being there for them is, I think that's really important. So one of my core values is being able to listen. I know it's kind of weird. That seems, almost like natural. You should be able to listen, right? But that's not really the case. You have some people that they just kind of bulldoze through a conversation. I would much rather understand so that I'm able to help when I can, because otherwise we're wasting each other's time. So I'm going to choose that as one of my core values.
Liberty?
Well, Crystal, I think that, I know that my business is built upon a strong platform of respect and responsibility. I expect respect from my clients and I give them my respect. That could trickle down to like respecting each other's time or, it's a relationship. You have to disclose, talk, and listen, like Ian said. And I think on the other side of that is responsibility. I am responsible to stay knowledgeable about the market and I'm responsible to work hard for my clients and have their best interests at heart. So those two for me, you can break it down to that. Mm-hmm.
JJ.
My mission statement's basically to help everybody and introduce them into the world of real estate. And I mean that in that real estate is a good asset. It leads to generational wealth. And core values are growth, optimism, and respect. So it's energizing to know that I'm that facilitator between real estate as a product, real estate as an investment, real estate as your first home, and definitely respect any customer that works with me, and it goes both ways. And yeah.
I heard someone once say, I like to trick people into getting wealthy. So I've adopted that too as kind of a philosophy, because I think a lot of people hear that it's good to buy a home. They don't always understand the reasons why. They just think, oh, it'd be cool if I had a yard and I'd rather not pay rent. But when you understand that so much of the foundational wealth in the United States is cemented by real estate, I think that's huge. So if I can help people accomplish the goals that they don't believe that they can achieve themselves, I want to be that conduit. I think that's huge, right? And when I say trick people, I mean, I'm not I'm not putting anybody in a position in doing something they don't want to do, but they want to do this. They just don't believe, they may not believe in themselves, or they may need assistance in doing this. And that's why we exist as realtors. There's a lot of value and it's a lot of money.
Well, if you look at the average person living in Austin, like they may not have $1 million in the bank with the confidence to push money around. They may think it's unobtainable, but it is obtainable.
Liberty, you have a story. I would love for you to share that story you told us yesterday.
Yes. So if you're referring to the one I think you are.
I am.
I mean, even homeowners living in their homes 20, 30 years, they may start getting that itch that they want to downsize or go somewhere else, but they don't have a knowledge of what their market looks like. They don't even see for sale signs going up. I mean, that's how hot our market is. So it's my job to educate this person so that they know what their home's worth, so they don't think they're going to get 100,000 when they could get 1 million, or vice versa. Like, they are coming out of left field, and it's my job to rein them in and show them the facts, because that's all I do is show them what's out there.
The other story, the hair story.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Sorry. I was going to be like, I pause. The hair story. Share that one.
Okay,
That
tell
was-
a
to me,
story.
that was
It's hard to figure out
right
which story
here.
to talk about.
This is how I break it down. Okay. When you go to get a haircut, first of all, hairdressers have to go to 2 to 3 years of school to get a hair license degree. Realtors, you can get in and out in 6 months, and you're talking about your wealth, your home. I mean, that's a big investment. That is something that you want to have someone by your side that knows what they're doing. And I was telling Ian, when I go look for a salon, I'm reading reviews. I'm interviewing them. I'm calling them. But do people do that with a realtor? Do they hire someone off, Zillow, Redfin? What do you think, JJ?
I agree with you. I don't think people understand. Well, there's also, we talk about this, like the top tier of this 20% thing. And there's only a handful of realtors that are your true channel to real estate, because it is a true asset. Like, open up Forbes top 400 billionaires, right?
Mm-hmm.
Majority of them just have huge real estate holdings, like commercial office buildings, apartment complexes. And if you think about it, who's your real estate counselor? Like, who's your real estate advisor? It's not going to be the stockbroker. It's not going to be the financial advisor. It's not going to be the CPA. It's really your realtor. And I don't think people look at realtors like that. And we're here to remind you, look at us like that, because we could definitely put you in that direction. So I totally agree with you.
So on top of, I think on top of, like, I know you guys talked about knowledge, being responsible to sort of tell your clients, this is what I know, this is how you can do this and that. But also, I think a big part of, like, on top of having all that knowledge, you can use that to guide them in case they, have absolutely no idea where to go after step one, which is, getting that loan. After that, we can just, pretty much lay out step by step how to do those things. In case, for example, first-time home buyers have no idea what to do after getting that loan. And then, I think guidance is like sort of like the biggest part on my core values. So on top of what your core values are, how are you guys using those core values in your day-to-day business? Ian? Or Liberty, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this podcast, I mean, is such a good example. Like, we get on here consistently every week to bring knowledge. It is our responsibility. We want to share, tips and tricks, and just so that we can get people to have that confidence, because all it is knowledge that we can provide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I feel like, so I'll give an example. Like, today, I spent most of the day on video calls with people, just like we're doing right now, like with video calls, introducing myself, talking about what I can do to help them on their journey. And I think in a world where we're not really running around the same because of the things that are happening in the world. It's nice to still get that feeling of connection by meeting with somebody, seeing them, seeing their eyes, watching them smile, reading their body language, getting comfortable with people, like you would if you were out on a first date. That's kind of what this is. You're all awkward. You're like, hey, how's it going? I'd love to help you out. So, right? Like, I just want to get to know. I want you to know who I am, that I'm here for you, and I want them to feel the same way. So I think those video calls are one of my strategies that sets me apart.
Video calls are also personable, and I think people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fake an emotion like you can over text. Like everybody throws an emoji in there. It's like, okay, well, are you for real? Like, are you really laughing out loud? Or like, everybody does that. It's like,
you're sobbing in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
Or are you a robot? Yeah,
or are you a robot? And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got a different personality type, but it's good to know who you're going to be working with, because this is going to be a hot, heavy, fast situation in a lot of cases, and you have to have some confidence.
Yeah.
Right. That kind of that video chat that you just mentioned, like, I don't know if this is off topic, but it kind of brings me to comparing a realtor, like a personal realtor versus a Redfin realtor.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you're using Redfin, you don't see them. All you do is, back-to-back emails or back-to-back text messages to help you sell that home or buy a home. Actually, pretty sure they just list them, right?
Yeah.
It's just funny because I'd be interested in Redfin feedback.
Yeah,
but
I don't want to talk about. Sorry,
Yeah.
Can we please not talk about the other brokerages?
All right, let's talk about brokerage X.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that you choose a personal realtor because you get to build a relationship with them. They get to personally guide you instead of, doing it behind a screen.
Yeah.
So anyway, JJ, do you have any input on how you're using your core values?
Man, that is funny.
Who is that?
So okay. Again, I try to have the video calls. That's really funny, Harry. Thank you. It was good for me too. We're still dating.
I'm gonna start that because I'm a little more old school. Like, I do phone calls. I'm on my phone all day, but I'm gonna start video chatting. I'm gonna do it.
Well, I mean, we have to do something, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's so good to see people's faces.
Ian, you're so popular.
Well, I mean, I'm sharing it on my channel too. What's going on, Jaime?
Hey.
So if you guys, I just want to throw this out there. If you're into real estate and you want to learn about software, which we're going to be touching on, Jaime is the man. You definitely have to get to know him. He is incredible. So,
I'm writing his name down.
Yeah.
Resendez. Did I say that right?
Back to values, guys.
Sorry about
that. What's up, Crystal?
JJ, how are you using your core values to, attend to your customers? How are you using it in your day-to-day business?
The quick answer is I put myself in their situation, right? And like I said before, growth is a core value, and I consider them like sub-core values. So under growth is abundance, achievement, ambition, knowledge, learning, like Liberty mentioned, wealth, financial stability, drive, financial freedom, all that. And, I can remember being back in college and cracking open these books, and I'm like, wealthy people are into real estate. Mm-hmm. I'm going to invest in real estate. So I start, looking at stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, I need money to invest in real estate. How am I going to do that? Let me get a real estate license. Then I got pulled into brokerage and, got my first property or whatnot, getting another property from my family. So I'm in that mix where I have to figure out how is real estate going to work in my life and how can I leverage that to my advantage? And, just going through everything, first time home buyers, now your feet are wet. It's great. Just like Ian said, you kind of get them in there, right? And then luckily we're in Austin. If you worked your first time home buyer, for instance, like years ago, they got some equity. Now you have some options. So yeah, the quick answer is just kind of putting myself in their situation and thinking about the decisions that they're making that could benefit them. Like, you know, like this area will appreciate. It might not be as much square footage as you would like, but from an equity standpoint, I like that one. Right.
Right.
I think so one of these things that I've learned along the way, I think we all kind of learn, is like, if you're going to take advice, take advice from somebody who does it. Like it's something like 50% of realtors have never owned their own home. They've never bought their own home. So they don't understand. They can't truly empathize with the emotion unless their partner purchased or something, or they've helped a lot of people. So I think that's one of those questions that people don't ask. They're just like, oh, this person seems to know what they're talking about. No, like make sure that's like going to a personal trainer that's a little on the unhealthy side, I think is what I'll say. That doesn't add up. Why would you do that?
Although they can still help you, but
they can. Absolutely. The knowledge is there. It is the experience, because to be able to connect with somebody, you have to experience it, right? That's why I'm always running around Austin doing silly things so I know the place. I'm like, oh, God, yeah, don't go there. That's not safe. Yeah.
I mean, it's with anything. Like when you're hiring your therapist, like the chances are the first one that you're connected with you're not going to vibe with them. You know, you have to find somebody that you're going to work with. I mean, this is, even though the market's so quick, they're coming on, they're going off. I mean, this is a relationship that hopefully is going to last the test of time. They're going to send you market reports, keep you updated throughout the ownership of that home. It's not like wham, bam, see you later.
Wham, bam.
That's the wham, bamming going on.
I wanted to pull up, Don, what's going on, man? I wanted to pull this comment
What's
up.
up, Don?
It's another one about, yes, thank you. It's another one about the video calls. Don flew in. He didn't know, like he had never been here. So he flew in, we got together, had a good time, went and got some Rudy's, and then went and looked at his houses. Like that's the kind of thing, but we met online first, you know, like Bumble or whatever. That's a thing, right? We met online first. It is called Bumble, isn't it?
I didn't.
Or Tinder, or
a whole other conversation.
That's a little anyway, all that to say, it was great to be able to get to know him and meet his wife and hear about his daughter and all that, even before getting to do the transactional part. It's super cool. So Don, thanks for that. And heck yeah, man. And I know that we'll have a long-term relationship. Like that is what it's about, right?
Right. Yeah.
I feel like that's what it's about. Maybe that's just.
That is.
So let's get a little deeper. I know we talked about the what's now and how we're using those core values, but I also want to know, and maybe a lot of people also want to know, why are those your core values? So why, Ian, do you like doing these videos and making people feel comfortable and basically, yeah.
I think the easy way to say it is I had gone through the process some years ago, and it was frustrating, scary. There were all these emotions, and I'm like, I don't know who to trust. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. Can't I just have somebody like do it for me or help me or explain it? It was that kind of thing. So then when I moved to Austin, I was like, I'm going to do that. That's a cool job. Like that is helping people, and it forces me to learn the area. So that was my big reason for doing it. And I get to make relationships along the way, which is incredible because I've met so many amazing people. And I feel like I could call up maybe like 95% of my clients and say, hey, do you want to go do something? Anything? You want to go see a movie? Do you want to go to the park? I don't know why I said park. I'm thinking Walnut Creek, riding a bike. So stuff like that, right? Like just being able to have that connection. Do you want to go get some coffee? I do that all the time. Let's go get some coffee. Let's talk. So relationships to me are long-term relationships are probably the most important reason for doing this, choosing this path.
Good answer.
Did I answer the question? I don't know if I answered I'm just yapping.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Liberty?
Yeah, I would say something a little bit similar, just in the sense of my core values sprung out of my personal experience and what I want from other people. And especially going through a real estate transaction for the first time. I was a first time home buyer once. And going through that without having someone that was really breaking it down for me was scary as hell.
Yes.
That was all my money.
Yeah.
That was all my money.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So I really like to provide my clients with step-by-step packets, guides, videos, chats, like just so that everything is crystal clear as it can be. Now, do things come up that I don't even know? Yes. But it's my job to go find those answers.
I would say that's the hardest thing, is trying to make sure that you actually can spend ample time with everyone that needs help. Like, there are a lot of people we can't help, and that's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
If somebody has a credit score of 420 but wants to rent or is renting and wants to buy a house for $500,000 in Westlake, it can't happen. I can't do it. That doesn't mean it can't happen. It means I can't help.
It can't happen today. It can't happen today. But even with the people that are going to have to wait and repair and prepare, we'll be here when the time comes that they can make a move.
I think that's another thing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say, I think that's another really important thing. Part of our conversations, like all the things that we talk about on our channels and on our social media, anytime we have these conversations, that education helps get people to where, if they do want to become homeowners, eventually following some of these guidelines and these principles and meeting some of these people will get them to the point where they can achieve their goals. So even if they do have a low credit score and a champagne tastes on a beer budget, is that what it is? Yeah, that is. Yeah, like,
yes,
you can get there. You just have to figure out the path to do it. So hopefully the conversations help you achieve that path. That is the real goal. The education of it.
And you never know what could happen, like the airship that you were talking about, or some piece of real estate could fall into your lap and you not know what to do with it. So
thank you, Don.
We're reading Don's comment, I think.
Yeah, I truly appreciate that. I do. I get excited. I kind of geek out about it. Because it's fun. It's like, you're excited, that gets me more excited. Let's go get excited together and find something that's really going to make it, put your family in a better place. Really, that's just, it's cool. It gives me the warm and fuzzies, because I know I've helped somebody and they don't have to pay me directly. Like, I don't have to take any money from people. I hate that. I hate taking money from people. I love being able to help, and then I'm compensated on the back end just for doing my job, just for helping people. Cool. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
JJ, I know you wanted to make it short and sweet as to why.
I know. I'm sorry. You keep rambling.
It's kind of a long. Well, like, I didn't know. Like, I got a real estate license when I was like 23 years old, so I didn't know. I mean, I knew why. I was trying to pay rent, so I got right.
Oh, that's me right now.
Yeah, I'm an apartment locator. I read about real estate, and I'm like, I read about it, but I haven't experienced it. And then, my first 2 listings was from the same calculus instructor. It was crazy. And I helped him retire. And then, I listed 2 properties of his, and then he went off to retirement. And then I felt like I was part of something. I was like, oh,
legacy.
I helped him take this money and do that. And then my next client was my god sister's first home. And we did that. And then I could look at it now and I'm like, man, she has real equity. I knew it was real, but now I'm in a space where all the first time home buyers are doing sell buys. And I'm like, yo, real estate's real. Monopoly
really is real.
Board game is real. People are renting stuff. Let's play. Let's do this. And like what Ian was saying, it's exciting. And now we could geek out about it because I've experienced it. So I fell into that why. But it initially started because I needed some money and I heard real estate was cool.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people who try it for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't last for everybody, though, because it's not easy. It seems easy. It might seem easy to some, but it is not easy. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Same here. I like my story is sort of similar to yours, JJ, but just because like I'm at that age, I'm like almost 25, and I started 2 years ago. I started at 23 as well, and initially like it was all about, okay, I need to pay these bills. I need to grow some independence out here. So, but then as I was closing transaction after transaction, I realized that, you know, I really like doing this. I like being chosen as a person to guide this buyer who might need some, you know, hand holding or need a lot of knowledge that they never knew, or, you know, first time home buyers. That just is it makes me really happy to know that it was a smooth transaction, or I was able to resolve some of those issues that, you know, they couldn't have if they didn't have me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's
I have a question, and maybe we could go round it out. Is there like a specific story where you're like, that's cool? Like that's why I do what I do.
I have a couple.
Yeah, I have a couple. Ladies first. Who wants to
Ladies
go first?
first. Even
though this is 2021, I'm still saying ladies first, y'all.
What a gentleman. Take notes out there, guys.
I mean, it's just like, for me, like I just think about all the people I've met, that it's just you randomly come in contact with someone, and then a week later you're like helping them get into their first home. Like that is just a crazy experience. Yeah. It's so emotional, and even though it's a business transaction, like I didn't really know that there were going to be so many emotions, but it's like a beautiful thing, you know? Yeah. It's gonna get me.
I know.
Krista, do you have one? Oh,
I have a couple. I guess like the coolest thing about being a realtor, the coolest thing that I've experienced is like people who want to know how to like invest or how the market is doing. They come to me, and then I can give them these answers, and they're like, whoa, thanks. And it's just like providing that information that they need, and just me like fulfilling that for them is just, yeah, it's a cool thing.
I love it. JJ, you have one?
Yeah, I remember going to like, he's a friend too. I call him like friend clients because I still work with him.
Absolutely.
And I think it was like a Thanksgiving thing. I don't know. He just invited a bunch of people over, and we're all like drinking, and kids are running around. And I forget what happened, but he said something like I'm living the dream. Like maybe I asked him about hosting, and he's like, this is the dream. Like just having everybody over, having a good time. Yep. We're here drinking beers. And that's awesome. But in the back of my head, I was like, I helped you pick this house. I was like,
like I was part of this too.
We saw this house together for the first time. So I know it's
sometimes we see it first too.
Yeah. Like I clicked this one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got that way with new construction. Like we were there throughout the entire process until it's built.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing too, watching it come up from the ground up.
Yeah. What about you, Ian?
Okay, so this one, for those of you that don't know, Liberty is an artist, and she is amazing. So I had a seller, good friends, and they were selling a house and buying another one. They wanted to move kind of out into the hill country, get a view, and they're incredible people. They've always been super sweet, and they were actually here in Austin before I moved here. I was like, they had never used a realtor before, and they gave me a shot. They were like, you know, we don't normally do this, but you're our friend. We'd love you to help us. I was like, yes. So anyway, all that to say, got through it. Everything was phenomenal. I like to give gifts when the transaction, when it's done, like when everybody's closing, I like to give gifts. And I had Liberty, hint, hint, paint a portrait of their house. And when you see somebody tear up, you know you did right. Like that is probably one of the best feelings you can have. Like, you know, you even get just a little moisture, just a little bit, you know.
We're all going to be crying at the end of the
good. I'm good. But it's so cool to know that you help somebody accomplish their goals, because how many professions are truly helping people change their lives. Like really,
Yeah.
right? There are some important ones, but it's hard to quantify how that makes people feel, or how that affects your quality of life.
Yep.
Right. Well, I hope we have to close up. So, I mean, I hope everyone got an idea of what it means for us to be a realtor and why we love what we do, and that you guys can come to us because we love our job, and we love providing you with that knowledge, that guidance, and doing it all respectfully. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Crystal, call me if you need any assistance.
Yes, thanks for coming by. This is our Friday weekly podcast. We'll see you next week. Comment, message us. We'd love to hear from you and answer your questions. We're here to help.
Is it me or is it JJ?
I was going.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody, thank you so much for joining in. I just want to remind you that we are on Spotify, what else? Google and Amazon and all those other places you listen to your podcasts. We'll probably be on Clubhouse soon. I started an account a couple weeks ago, so we'll do that too. And if you need anything, all of us are available and excited and happy to help. Seriously.
Yes, what everyone said. That was a great podcast, guys.
That was fun. Very good.